And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey everybody, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at Offshore. Now, Offshore has kind of a dark cover. I mean, it's about oil rigs and digging for oil, but it's from Aporta Games, and I really like a lot of the stuff that they do. And so their games are usually like a light, midway Euro-style game. And so I was excited to try this one off, but I put it off for a while because the game just looked a little bit drab and uninteresting. But then I played it. Let's take a look. Each player in the game is going to start with a technology tile. There are 4 different colors, and you'll get one of the colors. There's some special backs to show these. The rest of them are placed over here with some other technology tiles there. You're going to shuffle these tiles that are numbered 1 through 3 and place them in the appropriate areas in the board, and then turn up the 1s. And then each area is also going to have these white and black discs placed next to it. Those are possible rewards for those areas. Players are all going to start with one of their oil rigs in the Ecofisk area here, and then you'll have a pile of other of these that you'll be putting out over the course of the game. On a player's turn, they have 3 different options. One of the things they can do is they simply can take a new technology tile. When you take a new technology tile, you'll pay the cost. You can even buy the top one here for 6. You'll pay the cost, you'll take the tile and put it in front of you. Depending on where you pulled the tile from, you'll get a bonus. Here you'll get 1 or 2 oil barrels. You start the game with 1 oil barrel, but this is a way to get more of them. And then here you can reflip 1, 2, or all of your tiles. As the game goes by, you're going to be using your technology tiles, so you'll flip them over and you can't use them again, but this will unflip them for you. The second thing you can do is you can open up a new area for oil. And at the beginning of the game, you can only do 1s, but when a 1 is finished, the lines that it's connecting to, those will also open up, so you'll be able to do those in the future. To do a tile, you're going to need to do a couple of things. There's a cost that needs to be paid, so here's 3 coins, and you need these 2 technologies, a red and a blue. You can see that the 2 oils will need even more money and more technologies. It's very possible that a player does not have all the technologies needed to open up something, so they can invite another player in, and those players have to come to some sort of agreement who will pay the costs, etc., and what technologies each player will use, remembering that the technologies that are used will be flipped over. Once the players have decided this and paid the cost, the player who went there is going to get to keep the tile, which is worth a certain number of victory points, and then you're going to drill for oil. Drilling for oil is a bit of a mini game, push your luck. You're going to reach into a bag one at a time and pull tiles from that bag, starting at the top and placing them down. These tiles are going to give you certain rewards. However, as you pull these tiles, you want to make sure that you never have 4 or more clocks, because if you do, then as soon as you pull the 4th one, the last 3 tiles go away and you're done drilling. You can also stop anytime you want. It is possible with technology tiles to change it. So if this technology tile is in play, this, even though there's a divided sign there, means you can have an extra time thing. So this would give you, we can go up to 5 on this. And some of them, like this one here, would have reduced the cost to go to that tile by 2. Now, once you decide to stop, let's say I could go up to 5, and this is where I stop now, you're going to look at both the right and the left. On the left, you're going to look for these black cracks here, and the lowest one is going to give the player 2 oil barrels. Or if there's 2 players involved, they would both get 2 oil barrels. This green smoke over here, the lowest one you can find there, will give you that many victory points. And then you're going to get all the coins that you found, unless someone plays this technology tile, in which case you will get double coins. There's also technology tiles that give you extra oil, that can double the victory points you get, and that can even let you start down a tile, so you would have started here instead, which would have given 3 oil barrels if you got down that far. Again, if you bust, you lose the last 3 tiles. You still get any rewards if there is any, and then that oil field now on the board, the tiles removed, and if 1 player did it, they put their oil rig there. If 2 players did it together, they'd both place their oil rigs there. The third thing you can do is you can sell your oil. And when you do that, you're going to take any number of oil barrels, and for each rig you can place a barrel on one of the spots next to it. Now, some spots have a red circle. That means you can do those every time. I can go here, for example, and unflip a tile. Others have a token on, and the first player to do that will get that token. So they're usually victory points, free technology, money, but you can only put one oil barrel at each rig. So even if there's several things to get here, I can only get one of them at a time. And you can always go to this place here and get 3 coins and unflip one of your tiles. In fact, if you don't have any oil barrels, you can still take this action and simply just get 2 coins and unflip one of your technology tiles. And that's pretty much it. The game is going to continue until there's only a certain number of tiles left on the board, and that number depends on the number of players in the game. There are some technology tiles that when you buy them are nothing. You just immediately can place one of your rigs on one of these small fields around the board, which gives you a place to sell barrels for consistent points. And when the game ends, players are going to score an extra 2 points for each spot where you can draw a line between 2 of their rigs. So here yellow, it connects, blue connects here. If blue was here, there would be 1, 2, and those bonus points are added to the points that you've scored throughout the game, and whoever has most points is the winner. There's a small optional addition here where you can draw one of these tiles, and if you've built in these tiles, you get 3 points for each one over the course of the game. I'm kind of a mixed feelings about the components for this game. The game itself is really drab. I like some of the components. I like the oil barrels. They're pretty cool, little wooden oil barrels. And these oil rigs are pretty neat. Nice big oil rigs that fit here. The tiles are pretty clear. Not only are they different colors, but they also have a different symbol on them, so it's easy to tell. And the victory points, like I said, the symbology is weird. I'm not sure why they use a divided sign instead of a minus sign, instead of minus 2 coins. It just is a really weird thing for me. But the board itself, the coins and the discs are not that great of quality, and it just, when you put it out, it just looks so boring on the table, and I find that to be an unfortunate thing. Other than that, well, I'll talk about my thoughts about the game in a second. I just wish it looked better. Now, I'll tell you off the bat that the components for this game, like I said, were Another thing is, on the outside of the box, it says 3 to 5 players. In the rules themselves, it says there's a 2-player variant, which is bad. Now, normally I'd get on the case, but the box doesn't advertise a 2-player. But if you heard that somewhere, it doesn't work. But I think it scales well with 3 to 5 player, and it's because there's negotiation. Now, it's limited negotiation, and I tend to like games with limited negotiation. Limited negotiation is the kind of thing where you can negotiate back and forth, but you don't have a lot to negotiate with. So I have some resource tiles out there, some technologies that you need. I can offer to pay for some stuff, but that's pretty much it. And so if I need a red technology and there's only 2 people with that red, it's between them. It might only be 1 person. You can do some stuff by yourself, but it's a lot easier to work with other people. And if you cut other people out of you going to a spot, the chance of them inviting you to their spots is probably lower. So I like that back and forth negotiation. As an aside, the little expansion that it has where you can put your rigs, if you put them on different towns, you get extra points. I could take it or leave it. It doesn't really add anything because sometimes I need to go to this city and someone else went there and invited somebody else. They didn't even invite me because I didn't even have the technology that was needed. So I don't know. It doesn't really add anything. But I like the negotiation part. And selling your oil and getting points and things works well too. But the heart of the game, and the thing that is either going to make you like it or not like the game, is the actual push your luck aspect, as you pull the tiles from the bag and see how far down you can go. I mean, there was one instance, now I should mention that you can always pay 2 coins to draw 2 tiles from the bag and pick which one you're going to keep. Very helpful. But there was one instance where I was playing and we needed to get some stuff from an oil, so I opened it up and I drew a double time. Now I knew that 4 times busts you, but there's only 3 2 times in the bag. There's 3 no times and the rest have 1. So I said, just to be safe, I'll pay my hard-earned cash, because cash is a very limited resource in this game. I'll pay 2 to draw 2 tiles. I drew 2, and they both had 2 times on them, so we busted. Now, that's a very rare thing, but it can happen. And when we busted in that case, we didn't get anything. I shouldn't say we didn't get anything, because we still got to put our rigs on the spot, which is still points at the end of the game, and still lets you sell oil there, which we didn't get any from doing that. But it doesn't throw you out of the game that much. The game isn't that long anyway. It's 45 minutes to an hour. But these push your luck aspects where you are pushing your luck and sometimes somebody with you, which I normally am not a big fan of, but in this case that person can pay, they can help, and it's just two of you and you both get equal amounts and you're not trying to make the other person bust. So it works well, and those technologies kind of offset the luckiness of it a bit, and it's just really entertaining, which is good because it's the focal point of the game. This game actually reminds me of another game that came out last year called Deep Blue from Days of Wonder, which is a gorgeous game, but I like this one better, and they have a very similar vibe to them. Theming wise, some people aren't going to like Offshore because it's about oil, and like I said, when I got it, as much as I like a Porta, I didn't want to play it because the box looks so drab. It could have been any theme really, and even a theme doesn't make that much sense. Why are you selling barrels to the rigs that produce them? But you know, it doesn't really bother me that much. But just looking at the game mechanisms of the game, I found those to be refreshing and fun. These guys really know how to make an entertaining, interesting mix. And I could tell some of their previous game stuff is bleeding through here, and that push your luck is kind of a focal point with a little bit of that negotiation, and then also just putting things on the board to score points. A lot of fun. Definitely check it out. Offshore. I'm Tom Vasel. We'll see you next time. Dice Tower Judgment approved.